Crawford returns on Saturday night against mandatory challenger Egis Mean Machine Kavaliauskas at Madison Square Garden in New York City. The fight will be handled by ESPN. Before their much-anticipating fight this Saturday night, let's take a look some of Crawford's pound-for-pound career highlights. Fighting for the first time as a professional in his hometown of Omaha, Crawford made his first title defense against 2004 Cuban Olympic gold medalist and former unified featherweight titleist Gamboa. Gamboa won the early rounds using his speed advantage, but Crawford eventually adjusted, knocking Gamboa down once in the 5th round, again in the 8th, and finally twice in the 9th to secure a TKO win. In an interview in July 2016, Crawford stated that Gamboa was still his toughest fight to date. Held in front of 11,127 at the CenturyLink Center in Omaha, Nebraska, Crawford made his second defense of the WBO title against the Ring Magazine #1 contender Ray Beltran on November 29, 2014. The winner of the bout would become the ring's lightweight champion. Crawford retained his world title, earning a 12-round unanimous decision win. After the fight, Crawford announced his intentions to leave the lightweight division to fight as a light welterweight. On March 6, 2015, ESPN reported that Crawford would debut as a light welterweight, challenging for the vacant WBO title at the College Park Center in Arlington, Texas against 25-year-old Thomas Delorme. The fight was stopped after Delorme was knocked down 3 times in the 6th round, granting Crawford a TKO victory and the WBO title. Delorme started off aggressive, but was unable to land much. Crawford remained defensive, picking his shots and working the distance. Referee Rafael Ramos stopped the fight at 1 minute, 51 seconds of the round. Top Rank announced on August 20 that Crawford would make his first defense at CenturyLink Center, Nebraska on October 24 against Montreal-based 33-year-old contender Diary Jean. With a dominant performance that mixed superlative boxing skills with crunching power, Crawford knocked out Jean in the 10th round to retain the WBO junior welterweight title. Crawford landed 169 total punches out of 533 thrown, and an impressive 40% of his power shots. Over the last 3 rounds, Crawford outlanded Jean 59-9. On May 3, 2016, it was finally confirmed that Crawford and Victor Postol had officially signed a contract for the highly anticipated light welterweight unification fight, on July 23 at the MGM Grand. Crawford scored 2 flash knockdowns in the 5th round, on going away on all 3 scorecards. Crawford won by unanimous decision and unified 2 light welterweight world titles before a crowd of 7,027. Crawford also claimed the vacant lineal and the Ring Magazine titles. Arum announced a deal was in place for a fight between Crawford and 33-year-old contender John Molina Jr. on December 10, 2016 at Crawford's hometown at CenturyLink Center in Omaha, Nebraska. Crawford moved around the ring most of the fight, jabbing, holding and pot-shotting an out-of-shape Molina. In round 8, Crawford threw a flurry of shots that hurt Molina. Crawford then hit Molina with 3 right hands to the head and a right to the body, at which point referee Mark Nelson halted the fight. In the post-fight interview, Crawford felt he should be the 2016 Fighter of the Year for his wins over Molina, Hank Lundy and Victor Postol. Terms were finally agreed on March 22 for Crawford vs. Diaz at the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey on May 20. Contracts were to be signed shortly after. In front of a crowd of 8,026, Crawford retained his world titles after a dominating performance, which forced Diaz's trainer, Joel Diaz, to stop the fight after round 10. Towards the end, Diaz did close to nothing, leaning against the ropes. This was mostly due to his vision, as his right eye was nearly closed and his left eye was also badly swollen. Crawford used his jab for most of the fight, and used it to control the pace and help him move around the ring in his southpaw stance to win the fight. On August 19, 2017, a light welterweight unification fight between Crawford and WBA and IBF champion Julius Indongo was agreed upon to take place Pinnacle Bank Arena in Lincoln, Nebraska. In front of a home crowd of 12,121, Crawford became the undisputed champion at light welterweight after knocking out Indongo in round 3. The final punch was a well-placed left hook to the right side of the body, which immediately dropped Indongo. Referee Jack Reese counted to 10 and promptly called an end after 1 minute and 38 seconds. When Horn successfully made a voluntary defense of his WBO welterweight title by stopping Gary Corcoran, this set up the fight between Crawford and Horn. Crawford became a three-weight world champion in front of 8,112 fans in attendance after he eventually stopped Horn via technical knockout in round 9. At the time of the stoppage, all three judges had Crawford winning all the previous rounds. Crawford's first defense of the WBO title was slated to take place on October 13, 2018, against former WBA interim light welterweight champion Jose Benavidez. In front of 13,323 in attendance, the largest crowd he had drawn to date, Crawford came on strong in the final round to score a round 12 knockout win Benavidez to retain his WBO welterweight title. Towards the end of round 12, Crawford knocked down Benavidez, who fought with an injured knee, with a left-right combination, the final punch being a right uppercut. The match took place on April 20, 2019 between Terence Crawford and Amir Khan. Crawford knocked down Khan 2 minutes into the first round, with a sharp right hand followed by a left hook, and came close to a second knockdown, with Khan seemingly being saved by the bell. Despite making adjustments in rounds 2 and 3, Khan was easily outboxed by the sharper and faster Crawford. The champion switched to southpaw in round 4 and increased the pressure on Khan. 40 seconds into round 6, Crawford hit Khan with an accidental low blow. Despite being given 5 minutes by referee David Fields to recover, Khan's trainer Virgil Hunter informed the referee that Khan would not be able to continue, giving Crawford the win via TKO. On the other hand of the story, let's take a look some of the best highlights of Egidijus Kavaliauskas' bright boxing career. Egidijus Kavaliauskas, born June 29, 1988, is a Lithuanian professional boxer. At regional level, he held the NABF welterweight title from 2017 to 2019 and the WBO Intercontinental welterweight title. As an amateur, he represented Lithuania at the 2008 and 2012 Olympic Games, and won a bronze medal at the 2011 AIBA World Boxing Championships. As of August 2019, Kavaliauskas is ranked as the world's 8th best active welterweight by the Ring magazine, 3, and 10th by the Transnational Boxing Rankings Board. The fight between Terence Crawford and Egidijus Kavaliauskas is expected to be a mean war and slugfest, so you don't want to miss it. That's all for today. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe RBL Boxing and click the bell button to be always updated on my latest videos.